Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Love to Live Healthy show with author and weight loss specialist Josephine Fitzpatrick. Our focus is weight loss and losing it with healthy and clean living. Join us every week to hear answers to questions from our clients all over the world who text and email thousands of weight loss questions daily. Listen and learn how Josephine answers questions to help you lose weight, eat healthy, and feel great.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to the Love to Live Healthy show. I'm Josephine Fitzpatrick. Today, we have two very special guests, Tracey and Jennifer from Westchester. So excited. I've not even met them visually in person, only through online. And I'm really excited to meet them visually myself. So let's see if we can see who's waiting to come in. I think Tracey's waiting. Let's see.
Hi.
Hi, how are you?
Oh, there I am. Good. How are you?
It's so great. I love being, I'm like, I'm not even sure what they look like.
Sorry, I was actually getting my hair colored and it was
Oh,
running much later. So
that's awesome. Well, it looks beautiful.
thanks. Thank you.
So
Well,
we're
it's nice to meet
Jennifer.
you.
You
Face to face.
too. I know. I love it. So great. It's so funny because for so long I deal with people, I feel like I know them. And then when I see them, I'm like, oh my gosh.
Well, we definitely feel like we know you because I've listened to your podcast and I follow you on Instagram. So,
Love that.
but it's more of a surprise for you because you don't hear our voices.
Yes, exactly. Exactly. It's so funny. Even when you were doing the program, like, and when you send your weight, I'm like, I know everyone's feet, but I don't really I never see their face.
That's funny.
But it is,
That's
a lot of times I do see when I go through like Instagram and stuff and I get to see people, it's always fun, but it's always great, really in person.
Yeah. So, okay.
Jennifer's waiting, so I'm gonna bring her in.
Hello.
Yes, hi.
How are you?
Oh, this is awesome. I love it. So you live in New Jersey, right?
No, Westchester.
Westchester. Okay. Well, I don't know why I thought New Jersey. I think Jeff told me that. No.
Then he's sending our food to the wrong place.
No, that was totally.
That's a problem.
I blame Jeff for everything.
Yeah, right. That's a good thing. It's always good to blame a man for everything.
It's so funny. Okay, so tell me about everything you want to say. It's just free talk. Like,
so Tracey,
like I was telling Tracey, like, I feel like I know you guys forever. Like, that's how
because we nag you.
Oh, not at all. It's good though. I really do. I feel like I know people for so long and they always do that. They'll say to me like, no, it's only been, and I'm like, really? I can't believe that.
Yeah. Well, Tracey.
Well, how long have you been doing this?
15 years.
Okay.
Yeah.
And how long have you had this store and foods?
12.
12. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's been a long time.
Yeah, it is a long time. Sorry,
I know.
Jen, you were going to say something.
No, I was saying Tracey's the reason how we got to you, and because she's more social media savvy than I am. And I said to her, I really feel like I can't, I did a post-COVID diet and I got my weight down because, it was like a diet of wine and ice cream and I was exercising a ton, but, like north of 50, it doesn't work as well.
Right.
So Tracey's like literally like my sister from another mother. So I was like, I just can't get a hold of my weight. I don't generally have a weight issue, but with menopause and all that,
right.
I just felt like should I just get accustomed to being a bigger person? And that didn't feel right to me. So I kind of reached out to Tracey and Tracey said, well, I've been following, Josephine Fitzpatrick and, that might be something we want to try. And so that's when we, connected with you. So Instagram was really instrumental.
Great. Love to hear that. That's awesome.
Yes. And I would say that, for me, I think I told you in the beginning that I used to teach a class called SLT, which was also on Long Island.
Right.
But I taught it in Westchester for 8 years. And then last year, I had a knee issue, and then I had a really bad back issue, and I couldn't work out.
Right.
And I was really nervous. I mean, I had gained a little bit of weight from COVID, and it's like Jen, kind of felt like, oh, maybe, this is my new norm. And now that I'm not teaching anymore, my activity level went down. And so I just, I'm not going to be in the shape that I was. And then my back, I had a big back issue and I couldn't do anything. And I was scared because, to be honest, I always you can't out train your diet, but I always kind of was able to be okay with all of the working out that I did.
You maintained your diet because at the time you weren't overweight or anything and you didn't have any issues. So that's what I remember us talking about, that you were maintaining it at that point. I remember when you had first started and you said your back was so bad and you couldn't work out and you were so scared.
I was scared. And really your diet, the way it's very simple and easy to follow, first off. And second, it really retrained my feeling towards food really for the first time. And Jen, we both have tried things together. We work out together. Again, like we're best friends and have very similar mentalities. When we gain weight, we don't let ourselves get past a point. But for us, both being not so heavy, a little bit goes a long way.
Oh, absolutely. Yes, without a doubt.
And your diet just really connected, I think, for both of us. But for me, especially, that it really is about your diet, and it really is about, having to eat in a calorie deficit. And it really was a little bit of it is a roller coaster. I think it continues to be a roller coaster for us.
Right.
And
that's life too.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. And I think I almost wouldn't call your plan a diet per se.
Right.
I think we've all been on like diets, air quotes. I think it's a way to have a better relationship with food, because I tried everything, and then, I did intermittent fasting. And then as soon as the fast was over, I ate everything I wanted to eat. And I couldn't understand why I was not losing weight. And so, with your 5-hour fast, it helps me to structure my food intake. And even the regular innovation is just I felt like food got out of control for me.
Right.
Like I would just pick, and it was just like a blob of eating day. And this structures it like, okay, this is my snack, this is my morning, this is my breakfast, or this is my lunch, and this is my dinner, and I get another snack. And it's just a better relationship with food regarding portions and structure.
I love that. That's great. And I do agree, because I do think the control that you get from it, because you're not, sometimes, and I say it all the time, obviously less is best, but in so many different ways, not just the amount of food, the choices, even in the choices, because when like, okay, this is it does give you that control. And that is really why I think you said it perfect. The relationship with your food is so much more, because you're actually enjoying what you're eating, instead of thinking like, what am I going to have next? Or did I overeat and too much and then I ruined the day? So now am I just going to keep ruining it? We have that whole mental aspect that is the hardest part of eating on program, or eating healthy, or just staying in a good place,
Absolutely.
So I love that.
And your muffins, your muffins. I don't know what you put in those muffins.
I swear.
But those muffins are super filling. I just actually, even before this call today, I'm doing the cleanse, and I had my juice earlier. And for me, it's interesting. Jen and I, we talk all the time. Part of, this journey is that we have each other, which has been very helpful.
I love that. I love that.
And so we talked about this, but she, drinks her juice quickly. But I actually, like I started my juice today at 11:30 and I didn't finish it until 1:45. I drink it slowly and I drink water in between. but then right before getting on this call, I hadn't eaten, 3:40. I was hungry,
Right.
and I ran and I had my muffin, and now I'm so full. And there's something about those muffins that are so filling.
Yeah, they really are.
They're amazing.
Yeah, I
I
don't
don't
know
know
how
that
you
I'll
do
ever
it.
live without them.
That
And
makes me so happy. I'm
and
so
the other
happy
thing,
that you enjoy them because
Yes.
I know you listen when I say, like, if you're eating less, you better love what you're eating. You have
right,
to really love it, and it has to fill you, to a certain
right.
extent. So that
And
makes me
that's the
so
other
happy.
thing. It satisfies, a sweet tooth, which I've never ever really, no matter how many times I've tried, I'm always going to have a sweet tooth. It's just ingrained. And I don't know how you make your products, but you make them great and it works.
Good. I'm so glad.
And
Yeah.
I would say the other thing that I think is really impactful, at least for me, is that, you're kind of in my brain. I don't always follow it, but you're in my brain when one of your podcasts a long time ago talked about, if you cheat, and even when we were working together, you would text this to me. Those little cheat bites are going to make a difference, and you're not going to get to where you want to be. And it's 100% true, because when I follow your program, the program to a T, it works. And when I have a little bite of this and a little bite of that, and I think it's nothing, the scale doesn't move.
That is so great. You don't understand, like right now, everyone that's going to be listening to this, it makes such a big difference when they hear it come from you, more than me, because they always hear it come from me. But when they actually hear that, you're saying that, and it does make a difference, that I love. That's like music to my ears. I love that. It makes me so happy.
It's amazing. We don't realize how just the little bit makes a difference, but it
Right.
really does impact you. And if you just stick and be more mindful about eating these things, it works, and it is filling and satisfying. And I really, I have tried other diets, and once I try it, I can't go back to it. And this is the only program that Jen and I,
Me too. Yeah.
keep, like, when we
keep
fall
coming
off,
back.
the holidays, I fell off. We
Yeah.
come back, and normally I can't come back. It's like I did it, I've done that,
Right.
and move
Yeah.
on.
It was nice to go into the holidays, feeling like I can enjoy, and then knowing that, okay, I'm gonna, my husband said to me, you really earned those extra pounds this holiday season. I enjoyed myself, and I knew that when I returned, I was gonna go right back to my innovation and work on it, and it didn't feel like it was out of control, like I was on this merry-go-round of, like, I keep going up, I wake up every day, I say I'm going to be good, and then I fall off the wagon. And this really is so easy to do. And like Tracey said, that the muffins, I actually didn't, I'm on the cleanse, but I didn't get to my muffin until like 2:45, just by virtue of my schedule.
Right.
But I mindfully ate my muffin. I'm, satiated. I'm drinking my water, and then, I'll have my juice probably in an hour, and my dinner, and, that'll be it.
Right. I love that. That's great. I love that mindfully ate my muffin.
Yeah, I savored it. It was delicious.
Yes, it's so important. I love that. That's great.
I think you talked about once that you eat the crumbs off your
I
muffins.
did.
I remember.
Actually
So
had mine
I actually cut my muffin
Me
into
too.
5 thin slices, and I
so
eat a
funny.
slice at a time. And sometimes I don't eat it all at the same time. I'll eat like maybe 2 or 3 slices and then wait a bit. So it's really been helpful listening again to your podcast and hearing how you enjoy, like, eat these things. I've learned so much, really.
Yeah.
And one of the other things that I was going to just say is that during the holiday time, both Jen and I, we go out a lot. We go out to dinners a lot, and I like my cocktails.
Yeah, that's great. You have to live like that's a big part
Right.
of it.
And, but we were very nervous that, we were starting to, that was going to be really hard to come back from. And so we collectively said, let's start doing what we did with Josephine, and let's text each other in the morning and at night, the way we did with you, and
Right.
try to keep ourselves just on track. And it helped.
Good.
We did that for each other.
I love that. It's great. It's really great because you're motivating each other, there's nothing better than that.
So I think that for me, especially when it comes to trying to lose weight, which I think is probably one of the hardest things to do, I think actually having someone else to be able to talk to and not be alone in it is really, really helpful, because, Jen and I both have the same situation. We still have kids at home that we have to make dinner for. We have husbands that we're making dinner for, and my husband is never going to say, I want to do this with you. So, and neither are my kids, although I did have to put a sticky when I would take a muffin out of the freezer and leave it on my counter. I have to put a sticky that says "Do not touch," so my children don't touch it.
Or when I'm eating them, they'll say, "Ooh, can I have some of that?" And I say, "No." Do not touch my food. Exactly. I only get this. Leave me alone.
But having each other and having a friend is helpful, and helpful really in the hard times, because there are hard times. It's not easy. You've said that.
There's always going to be hard times. There's great times, there's hard times, but if you get through the hard times, which you guys have done so many times, look, you always come out on top. You always come out in the positive.
No, we've done really well.
When you can control like that, that's great. You have each other to lean on. It's amazing. Amazing.
Yeah, it's
So now what are you doing? You're doing the cleanse?
Me?
Yeah.
I just started the cleanse. I was reticent about the cleanse because I'm not like the juicing thing. It's just, I don't know. I can't drink a green juice, but Tracey said, no, they're really good. And so I took the plunge. I can't do the green one, but the other ones, and I had the banana strawberry.
Yeah.
And I gulped it down. It was so delicious. And I'm going to do the apple fire after this.
Okay, good. Let me know what your favorite one is.
I will. I tried all of them, and Tracey's like the juice person. That wasn't me, but I did start the cleanse yesterday. I found it to be very easy. And also the juice, also very satiating. Did not really feel hungry. And so, I really was, I've been enjoying that too. And it's nice to switch it up, because I was doing the 5 hour for a while and getting a little bored with it. And then maybe this weekend I'll do the regular innovation.
Right. Good. I love it. I love how you mix them all up. Tracey, you're doing the juice too this week, right?
Yeah, well, I think from one of your recent podcasts, when you talked about doing
Doubling down.
5 hour fast for 3 days, and then the cleanse for 2 days. And so that's what I did last week, and that's what I'm doing this week again. Good. So I did the 5 hour fast the first 3 days of the week, and this is the second day of the cleanse. And I guess for the weekend, I will do the regular innovation.
What would you say is the best advice you can give someone that's listening?
You know what? I think you've said this many times, and this occurred to me. I work, but I I also exercise in the morning, and then I play tennis sometimes. And I remember doing a 5 hour fast and wondering, can I get through all, it was one of those days I was light on work and heavier on physical activity. And, during the match, I'm wondering, can I survive on this? And I basically whizzed through everything and didn't feel like you say this often. It did not feel like I was in deprivation at all. And I think it makes you realize you don't need as much food as you think you do. And you say that a lot. So I would just say, try, start with regular innovation, and to mix it up, the 5-hour fast is a great way to show yourself that you, like you say this all the time, but and I catch myself. This is one thing, is I catch myself wanting to go for food, and I say, do I need this or do I want this? So when I realize that 99.9% of the time I just want it because there's nothing else going on, it's an easier way to stick to the program. Because if you really think about, stop and mindfully say, do I need this or want this? And you answer that question honestly, you can really stick to the program quite well.
I love that. That's great. What about you, Tracey?
I would say two things. The first I would say is to trust the program, to trust the process, because I think that's the hardest part for people, is to really trust like a new program that it's going to work, to really buy into it. And then the second thing I would say is to not be too hard on yourself. And I think that was the one thing with working with you, is that you were there for accountability, but you were supportive, and you were constantly telling me not to beat myself up if I had a bad day, but to try harder next time, and this is what I should be doing. And I think that I tend to be the type of person that if I fall off, and I think this is common, I would go dark and not then I would avoid the scale, or I would, I would go away, as opposed to regrouping and saying, oh, okay, I had a bad weekend. Often it's a weekend, right? Not just a cheat day. And it's okay. And now I've gotten to a point where I know if I've had a big weekend, I'm not going to get on the scale on Monday, because that's only going to make me feel badly. And I'm going to get up on Monday and go back to innovation, and I'll weigh myself on Tuesday. But I think that those two things are the most important thing, because I think a lot of people fall into that rut of, having a bad couple of days and then feeling like I got to throw my hands up and I'm done.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly. Or like you said, they jump on the scale, they see it, and they panic. And then they're just done. Yeah. So that's great. Both great advice. I love it. Oh my God.
It's all from you.
Oh, I'm so excited. I really am. It's so wonderful. So now, are you guys going away together at the end of the month?
I wish Jen was coming. She has to go visit her son at college.
It's Tracy's big birthday, and
I know. That's why I figured you were going.
Big celebration. Yeah, it's my son's mom's weekend with his fraternity, and there are only so many of those in life. So I felt
That's
like,
right. Yes.
I gotta go.
So you'll have many celebrations with her in the future.
That's right. God willing, we'll be around for many, many more.
Yes, absolutely. Well, that's so exciting. So you're ready to go, Trace?
Well, with the weather here in New York, yes. The next two, that's the other thing I would say. It's very hard, where we live, but being it's cold in the winter. I tend to be a person that when it gets cold, and I think a lot of people do, you feel like you need to eat even though, because you're cold.
Right.
So it's been very hard to stay really on program, fully. But I've gotten to a number that I'm happy with. Now I know I have 2 weeks, and I'm just really locking in and trying to stay really good for the next 2 weeks.
That's great.
And not cheat. And I've actually, one thing that I did do is it was a choice to just not drink this month. And I think that is very helpful, because that's the other piece of this is that I think when I do go have a drink, even though I love that the program allows me to have a drink, I often will have two, and then that leads to not having as much discipline.
Right. Always.
We have to make it out to you. We have to make it out to see you in
Oh
Long
my God, I would
Island.
love that. I know, I don't think you've ever been in the store, right?
We haven't.
No.
We haven't. We got to get out there.
Oh my God, that would
I
be
want to open. I want to open a satellite store in Westchester and sell your stuff.
that would be great. You
Your
know.
next business.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I have a one question for you.
Sure.
So like Jen and I never really know like what maintenance is. And I feel like you haven't really talked so much about maintenance. So like, I know it's like you can be a little more, but I've never felt that I'm at a maintenance point.
Right. Okay. So that's a great question. And it's definitely something I should incorporate more. Even when I'm doing like my little talks, just because a lot of people are in maintenance, but everyone does it so differently. And you have to see what works for you and see how you do. I would say this is probably the majority. Monday through Friday, they're 100%. Saturday, Sunday, they're not full out cheats, but they kind of like are mindfully go through the weekend and have what they want and have, that's definitely probably the most popular as far as maintaining. If you do that, remember, you may not be the same number on Monday, but you should be the same number by the following Friday.
Oh, okay.
So every Friday, your number should be the same if you're going off on the weekends and then go back on Monday through Friday and do the same thing.
So is maintenance for somebody like they do either 5 hour or they do the innovation regular 3 plus 2? Okay, got it.
Yes, that would be a great maintenance.
Got it.
Okay.
Now remember too, have you guys you've been on vacation doing it? Or when you went on vacations while you were on program, did you go off completely?
I think I haven't gone on vacations, on it. I usually like Tracy's like buckling down, preparing for vacation. Then I go and I try and be mindful and make good choices, but not, like I'll have a few cocktails if
Right.
and then knowing that, I'll reel it in when I get back. So I don't weigh myself when I get back. I wait a few days and then get a base, then get a baseline and see where I am and then adjust from there.
Perfect. Okay, good. What about you, Tracy? When you go away, do you ever stay on it?
I think that what I do is try to wait to eat my first meal if I can on vacation and I'm not where, my family is having breakfast every morning. I will be mindful to make my first meal at lunchtime, so not quite the 5 hour, but it's
a version of it.
A version of it. Correct.
Right.
So that I know that I'll have less control of what my choices are, but I'll have less meals. So in my mind, that's still eating in somewhat of a deficit.
Definitely, without a doubt.
I learned so much from your Instagram stories, but
I love that.
Seeing all of your everything now, because I felt like I was always asking Jeff, what is this? Is this a meal? Is this a snack? Before it's very well and clear now. So thank you for that.
Oh, good. I'm glad.
Really
I'm so glad. Yeah.
And yes, I have everything printed out, all in different places around my kitchen. I'm like, oh, I'm not doing 5 hour. Where's the cleanse one? Where's my other sheets? I need to make a notebook with it now and keep it just all in one place.
That's awesome. I love it. Well,
because I love that you really talk about being able to switch it up and going back and forth. That's what I think, honestly, is the greatest thing. It isn't just one plan.
Right.
Yeah.
It really is like 3 different options, and you can go to either one of those options and have success.
Right, right. Which I'm glad that you feel that way because it's easy to get boring. That's why even with the
Yes.
food, I'm constantly changing the food because when you're trying to do the right thing, you need the change. You need something different. You need something new to look
Yeah.
forward to, or just something different to look forward to.
Mhm.
Just the whole, I guess, really, if you think about it, the whole name behind innovation, that's what it means, new and
Yes.
change.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, you're doing a
Well, that
great
makes
job.
sense.
Thank
My
you.
other piece of advice would be use Josephine.
Oh, thank
You
you.
know,
Thank you.
Sure.
consult her, ask her questions. And you're always so kind. And, like Tracy said, when we're not forgiving with ourselves, you are
Oh,
forgiving with us. Like, that's okay.
bless them. Oh, Zoom, what are you doing to me? Okay, for some reason, after a while, she's saying all these amazing things about me, and the Zoom goes off. How horrible. But I really, really appreciate it. I really appreciate you both. I appreciate you both for being on. Thank you so much. I probably had the time set wrong, and it gave us a half hour instead of an hour. But I really do appreciate you both being on. I appreciate all the kind words. You both look gorgeous, amazing. You're doing so wonderful. And I'm so happy that you feel so good in your body and that you are loving and living the innovation program. Nothing makes me happier, all the way from Westchester. So thanks again. And I will be talking to you both soon. And happy birthday, Tracy.
Thanks for listening to Love to Live Healthy with Josephine Fitzpatrick. We hope you'll pass along our web address, innovationweightloss.com, to your friends and colleagues who are looking to lose weight by eating clean and living healthy. Be sure to check out our archive section on our website for previous podcasts. Join us next time for another edition of Love to Live Healthy with Josephine Fitzpatrick. The content in this podcast is not intended in any way as a substitute for professional medical advice, diagnosis, or treatment. Always seek the advice of your physician or other qualified healthcare provider with any questions you may have regarding weight loss or any medical condition or treatment, and before undertaking a new healthcare regimen. And never disregard professional medical advice or delay in seeking it because of something you have listened to on this podcast.